Hi, I'm Jay, and today I'm going to talk about how to properly clean your Electro-Air air cleaner. Right here we have an air cleaner, the gas furnace, and the return air duct that's attached to the air cleaner. So the first thing we want to do when we clean this thing is to turn off the power to the furnace and also to the air cleaner. Now you'll notice that this may or may not look like yours. This Electro-Air happens to be an older generation, so there's another generation, actually 2 generations after this. This one's quite old, but they all basically work the same and you clean them the same. So let's take the door off. And this is the first collector cell. There's another one hiding back inside of there. Oftentimes we get calls from people that say, hey, I only have one cell inside my unit, because they're not really looking back inside of there where it's dark, but hiding inside of there is another one. So there's the second cell. And now the pre-filters. All right. There's 2 pre-filters in there. They are roughly the same size as the collector cells, only a lot skinnier. They need washed as well. All right, this one has an option. So inside of this one, we have 2 charcoal filters. Now, the charcoal filters are basically the same size as the pre-filters. The difference is they are not washable. They have small little rocks here of charcoal, and the purpose of the charcoal is to absorb odors. Let's say you have pets, or you're smoking in the house, or maybe there's cooking odors or something. These will absorb those odors. The problem with charcoal is once it absorbs the odors, the charcoal needs to be disposed of because it stops working. So we recommend that these be replaced every 3 to 6 months if you have them. Again, they're not washable, they're not cleanable, you don't do anything with them other than you put them in and then you throw them away after 3 to 6 months. Not everyone has these. In fact, very few people actually invest in these because of the cost of doing so on a regular basis. But if you have the need to remove odor, this is a great solution for you. All right, so now we're going to take the 2 collector cells and the 2 pre-filters and take them out and wash them. There's a couple of different methods of doing this. I like to do it the old-fashioned way, which is to put them in a sink and soak them. The newer approach is to use a dishwasher. I'm not a big fan of that because of the potential for damage with the fins being bent by the little fingers that stick out inside the dishwasher to hold your plates. So you can do it that way, but I really don't like to do it that way. I like to do it like I said, the old-fashioned way, and that's what we're going to do next. Okay, here we are at the laundry sink. First thing we're going to do is fill this thing up with warm water. So we'll plug the drain. And let her get filled up. So now we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of standard electric dishwasher detergent. The brand is not important, but it just needs to be electric dishwasher detergent. Now that the soap's been added, we're going to go ahead and reach my arm in here and stir this up so that we can dissolve all the soap before we add the cells. The soap is now dissolved. We're going to go ahead and add the collector cells. So the cells go in first. First you put in the 2 cells, and then on top of that we're going to put the pre-filters. So here's the first cell. And now we'll put in the second cell. All right, now we'll put the pre-filters in. We're going to put them on top because they are delicate. And it's 1, and here's the second one. All right, now we're going to let everything in here soak for 30 minutes to an hour. All right, now that everything's soaked for a while, we're going to take all the pieces out and rinse them off. All right, here's the 2 pre-filters. first collector cell. And the second collector cell. Okay, now it's time to rinse off the cells and the pre-filters. I've taken them outside. You can do it inside, but I just find it easier to bring them outside. As far as rinsing off the cells goes, you can be fairly aggressive with a garden hose and rinsing them off. You don't want to get too wild, but normal water pressure, you can just kind of rinse these things off real good with fresh water. Now that the collector cells are rinsed off, it's time to do the pre-filters. You want to be very careful with them. You can't rinse them off with a lot of pressure, so I like to adjust the nozzle so that it's kind of in a spray pattern, and then carefully rinse them off really well with fresh water and let them drip dry. Now that the cells are clean and the pre-filters are also clean, we're going to put it all back together. So here are the charcoal filters. Again, we just took them out just for the heck of it. They can't be washed or cleaned. And these have only been in here a week, so we can reuse them and put them back in. And now the pre-filters. Okay. This is important. The furnace is here. This is the return air ductwork. So the air travels from your home, comes down this return air duct, travels through the pre-filters, then through the collector cells, which would be here, and then through these charcoal filters, and then the air goes into your furnace and gets heated or cooled and blown back inside of your home. It's important that if you use charcoal filters, that they be closest to the furnace. If you don't use them, then this slot here, where the charcoal filters go, would be empty. So the pre-filters right here, it's important that they be on the side away from the furnace, so that the air travels through the pre-filters and then through the collector cells, which will go here, and then goes into your furnace. So now we'll put the cells back in. All right, now put the door back on. Okay, now we're going to leave the power turned off to the air cleaner. We have let these cells drip dry for a couple of hours, but it's going to take a while, several more hours for them to dry. So we're going to turn the power back on to the furnace now and get it running so that we can get air moving through here, and that will give the cells a chance to dry. Once they are perfectly dry, which will take up to 24 hours, we can then turn the power back on to the air cleaner and go back into normal operation. But it's important that the cells get to be pretty darn dry before you turn the air cleaner on, because if they're just a little bit damp, they will make all kinds of snapping noises, or they'll just be shorted out and nothing will happen with the air cleaner. It won't work until they are completely dry. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for watching. For additional help or questions, please feel free to contact us.